who expect to call. I'm asked you God to grant them the wisdom. Amen.
Amen. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Good morning, Mr. Andrew Donald.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I am doing great. I am doing great, and I am doing fine. Yes.
Okay. Where are you?
Yes. Presently, right now, I am on Turby Express. I am heading towards the port of St. George. Just went up yesterday for funeral service of my very good friend who's deceased, Mr. Alfonso McLaren. So right now, I passed the Guam area and coming in, heading towards the port of St. George. Yes.
Is that a regular trip or just a special trip for the funeral?
Well, basically, it's really a special trip for the funeral because over the years, this gentleman and his entire family had really had a great impact upon my life as a young man over the years, yeah, and included my family when I become married. So it was really pleasure living here to come up for that funeral service yesterday and return back to my family this morning.
No, I'm talking about, is it a regular trip with the Turtle Bay Express?
No, because basically they come down this morning with passengers as general. It's a general trip.
A general
Normally
trip.
a general trip like every Tuesday because I think that Dolly C don't travel on Tuesday and neither the Osprey Express do not travel on Tuesday. So that would basically fit in very well on Thursday morning, on a Thursday morning.
Okay, so they travel. What time did you leave Carriacou?
I left Carriacou this morning, let's see, about 8 minutes after 5 o'clock, yeah? 8 minutes after 5.
Okay.
So I guess that we'll reach in the port of St. George at least maybe a little after 8. But it appears to me that she doing a little more not done, Dolly C. And it appears to me plenty more spacious and lot of convenience, yes?
Okay, well, it's only 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. So if you've passed Go already?
Yes,
If you
we passed the Guam area.
If you pass Go already at 10 minutes after 7, I will say you'll get into port just around 7:45 maybe.
Yeah, well, yes, I presume that because in terms of the visibility of the water, it's very good. It's like we're on a river instead of a sea, but the visibility of the water is good, and basically on the sea here, the breeze is not blowing. It's like the Dead Sea. So
Okay.
based on your prediction, we will be there at least a little 7:45. I think that you're right.
Come on, I'm from St. Patrick. We know about boats, you know. I'm not from Grenville, where there's and La Fillette, where there are only rivers.
Yeah, but so for your information, I had the opportunity to operate one of the most sophisticated boats, and that's what I call the Carriacou Islander. I was the captain of that boat for basically a total of 11 years. We are specialized in marine biology, sir.
Okay.
The owner was Malcolm and Rosamanda Cameron from England, yes?
But
So I know much about boats.
may you also know that nobody know about Carriacou Island, and nobody know about that. That is not a boat.
I think that you need to do your research on that, Mr.
I
Andrew
say
Donald.
nobody don't know about that. I never hear about that yet.
All right, well, I'm educating you now. And if you do some
Thanks.
research, you'll get enough information on that.
Thanks for the education, but people still don't know about it.
All right. All right.
No matter
All
what
right,
you
sir.
educate, people still don't know about that.
Well, for those who know about it, they can give you a call maybe in another setting to educate you on that.
Anyway, just to let folks know that you tried to hide from me this morning. But I tell you, Adam tried to hide from God. The fella they call Noah tried to hide. The fella they call, not Noah, Jonah tried to hide. Everybody tried to hide. You hiding from Andre.
Yes, so the whole thing about it, and then when people specialize in hiding, you specialize in finding them even on seawater.
Yeah, I find you on the seawater this morning.
But I am there, you know, as soon as I touch down, go to get a transport, and head back to my family,
Okay.
And let me take the opportunity to say a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you, Grenade, and here, there, and everywhere, including my wonderful family over there at Cadron and St. Andrews. So, Mr. Andre,
you're chasing me. Me at calling, my credit, not your credit.
Oh, well, all right. Here we go, boy. All right. Here we go, boy.
You're chasing me. All right, no problem, man. Just me. I thought I was your friend, but you look so.
Yeah, man. We are both forever. Don't worry about that. You understand? We are both forever. Remember that there is a code that says that friendship is a golden chain that links two friends together, man. And if you never break that chain, we'll be friends forever.
Our friendship has no chain to keep us together. Our friendship keeps us together, not chain.
All right. Well, friendship keeps us together.
Yeah,
so we just have to maintain. that friendship. Yeah.
That's all we have to do. I don't know what chain. If you are slavery, yeah. Good morning.
Yeah. Claire, good morning, my dear. Good morning. All the stuff of Real FM station. Have a wonderful day today.
Yeah, man.
Everybody.
One love. Take care.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care, Andrew.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good.
Great.
13 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour says one computer. Another one says 14. Clock on the wall says what? It says 15. 3 different times. Nonetheless, it's another beautiful morning inside of Spice Country. Yeah, beautiful. Somebody online, that should be drummers. Morning, drums.
Hello, good morning.
Talk to me, dear.
Good morning to the nation. I'm reading from the Word of God, Psalm 9. I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praises to thy name, thou Most High. When my enemies are turned back, they shall fail and perish at the present. This is the end of the scripture reading.
And thank you. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
All right, family good?
Everybody all right for the time?
Okay.
And you have a wonderful day?
Yeah. That is the first time I'm talking to you since, no, I spoke to you on Monday.
Yeah, on Monday.
Yeah, I did speak to you on Monday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Drums.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Bye-bye, darling.
Hey, bye-bye.
All right. Tommy Coy! Is it Moses? I think it is. Good morning, Tommy Coy. How you doing? Eyes open that you're doing fine, girl. The weather that comes up at 20 minutes after. Stay with us. This is real.
Little England, you asked for a store that speaks the quality and we gave you. Now, you have started asking for brands. And we have brought them in for you. Little England has all the brands you're looking for. Washing machines. We have Hoover, Indesit, Beko, and Candy at the best possible prices. Deep freezers, fridge freezers, all sporting the Sharp and Hoover brand. Microwaves of top quality, Panasonic and Kenwood. We stock the best in smart TVs, JVC, Sharp and Panasonic. Now listen, this electric and top stove kettles, steam and non-steam irons, toasters, Bluetooth speakers, phone charger and cables, including wireless chargers, top brand names in blenders, solar lights, for both inside and out. The only appliance we do not stock is a transformer, because all our appliances are for the authentic power source to 20 volts. So check us out at Little England. We aren't so small after all. Little England, located Main Street to Tears. Call us on 458-4111. That number again, 458-4111.
Renbeck Community Partnership Initiative.
The classrooms that were refurbished as a result of this project really were not conducive to installing ICT into the classroom. Many of the windows were not functional. The security to the actual rooms themselves were insufficient. At the Maribor campus, the roof was also termite infested. The college is extremely appreciative of the contribution of GrenLink to this project to really enhance learning through the use of information and communications technology.
Hungry, anyone? You heard about it, and it's finally here. Velma's Restaurant and Bar, located High Street Terrace in St. Patrick. They're open from 6 a.m. until midnight. Breakfast is available from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. On the menu is roast bake, sawfish, and many, many mouth-watering items. Lunch is a close second, with items that can be grilled to your satisfaction. We have steamed fish and other seafoods too. For the health-conscious ones, we provide vegan and vegetarian dishes. Looking for something that will hit the spot? From 5 p.m. until close, come and enjoy our burgers and fries. At Velma's, we cater and host parties. We have an on-site bakery where you can place your orders for fruitcakes and other pastries. We also have local juices. Listen to Real FM for your daily menu to place your order in advance. Call us at 419-5622. That number again, 419-5622. Velma's Restaurant and Bar. Come eat lunch with us.
Maya's Collection, located on Main Street, St. Patrick, announces its back-to-school promotion. Available are uniforms for MacDonald College, St. Mark's Secondary, Montrose SDA Comprehensive, St. Joseph Convent Grenville, and some uniforms for primary and pre-primary schools in St. Patrick. Check out Myers today for all your school accessories, shirts, belts, socks, notebooks, and much more. Also in stock is a wide variety of household items. We are opened Monday to Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and later for your convenience. We accept government and Grand Coda vouchers. Call Maya today on 449-6197. A warm welcome awaits you.
Yes, agriculture is the number one. Number one, yes, the number one. Oh yes, the number one. It's the number one. Why you disown agriculture? I'm talking to the youths of this nation and those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Well, from here to the revolution, agriculture was on top. Man Jack and didn't do too bad. After that, you know the whole thing flop. Why? Everybody want to sit down in computer, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer, agriculture, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. You could live without clothes, and they forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. I tell you just now, my brothers, all you go with them computers. We used to ship plenty nectars all the way down to Trinidad during the revolution. We used to use up all the fruits that we had. When the cocoa, nutmeg and banana was at the highest level. Now the youth them don't want to take over from the elders and continue. Oh gosh, why? Everybody want to sit down in computer, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer, agriculture, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. You could live without clothes, and they forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit home. Tell you just now, my brothers, all you go with them computers.
It is real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the world. And let us say good morning to the goodly gentleman at the Morris Bishop International Airport, none other than Mr. Andre Charles, who is going to be giving us an idea of what the weather is going to be like today. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning to you and to listeners of Real FM. And here's the weather for today, Thursday, the 7th September, 2023. Currently, it's fair. Winds are from the east-northeast at 8 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 1012.1 millibars. That's below normal and rising. Present temperature, 28.5 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity, 81%. Yesterday's maximum temperature, 31.7 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum, 27 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, no rainfall was recorded. Hence, the total for the month remains at 4.8 millimeters. Now to have a look at the forecast, value for today and tonight. Today we expect some generally fair and slightly hazy conditions. Maximum temperature, 32 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves up to 4 feet in open waters. Tides will be high at 9:45 a.m., low at 2:30 p.m., and high at 8:45 p.m. Sunset today at 6:16, rises tomorrow at 5:58. Just a repeat of the forecast, but for today and tonight. Generally fair and slightly hazy, maximum temperature 32 degrees Celsius. I'm Andre Charles, reporting for the Met Office. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlo. Take care of yourself. Have a great day.
Thanks, and same to you.
Okay, good. It's real. It's 91. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. What's up? How you doing? It's a Thursday morning. Yeah, this is time when we chat agriculture. Well, we try to keep it that way as much as possible. Yeah, we try to keep it the agricultural way as much as possible. And this morning is no morning that's different than any other morning in relation to us trying to keep farmers abreast as to what is happening and what is taking place throughout this beautiful land of ours. And let me say good morning to well, see, times you come here and we say good morning to the farmers. Yeah, good morning to the farmers, good morning to the farmers, good morning to the farmers. And do we ever stop for a moment? Do we ever stop for a moment and think about the different aspects or the different kinds of farmers that we have here in Grenada? Do we ever stop for a moment to realize the different aspects of farming that we have in Grenada? We have those we call the cash crops that or short crops. Those are the ones who grow the seasoning, the lettuce, the cabbage, the tomatoes. Yeah, those kind of crops. And they come to you like almost every week. Peppers and so on, they have it for you almost every week or almost every day. And then you have the tree crop farmers, those who do mangoes and nutmegs and cocoa, and I guess bananas would fall into that stream of thing too. But I wonder what we call those who do things like celery and so on. Well, not celery, watercress. That's what I want to say. Watercress. Where would we put them? And then we are having a new, well, not new, but what is budding these days is sea moss farming. Sea moss farming. That is budding these days. You know that. Sea moss farming is budding these days. You know that for a fact. And that's something that is, when I was growing up, nobody ever mentioned that you could do this. And that's many, many years ago, over 50 years ago. How old am I? What are that now on? Okay, 57. Let's leave it just like that, okay? Right, you know. So in any event, yeah, many years ago when I was, young kid, you go on the shows and you pick up sea moss at different times of the year when the sea would harvest it on its own and bring it to you on the show. But these days, no. I'm sure you would have heard. You would have heard from Carl, as in Carl Caton, yeah. And when he goes off to Union Island, he basically goes to harvest sea moss. I don't know. Is he available this morning? Let's see. We can see if he's available. So maybe he can give us a little bit more on the harvest, on the whole sea moss thing. Let's see if we can find him here. Yeah, so he can give us a little bit more on that whole sea moss. I'm trying to find his name here now. Numbers? No, I can't remember numbers. So I'm calling. I don't know if he's listening. He probably might answer. If he's not listening, and he's probably busy doing something, because outside of the sea moss farming, outside of that, he does regular agriculture, because I think he has a lot of peppers on ground now and stuff like that. I don't know peppers and what else. I don't know if because I know he got hit with the watermelons, the first set of watermelons that he did. He indicated to me, unless I see him there. Bro, that's you there? Hello? I ain't hearing. Yeah, so he probably can't be reached this morning. But one of these mornings, we'll find out again some more about the whole aspect of sea moss farming. All right? Okay, that takes place in a big way in Union Island. Takes place in a big way in Union Island. I believe there's some aspects of sea moss farming here on island in Grenada. All right, so I didn't get called to answer. I wonder, I'm going to try to get, this one is good. This one is good to roll you over. Eh? Let me see if I get Keith Mitchell to answer his phone. Why would I want to call Keith Mitchell? So why y'all must know why I want to call Keith Mitchell? Let me just see if I get the man, and then you will know why I want to call him. So you must know before I think. You must know before I call. Okay. Let me tell you why I would want to call Keith Mitchell this morning. Now, I was home last evening, and then I got a visitor. A guy, he disturbed me, yes. And I really and truly, sometimes when I'm just like chilling in my own part of the world, dozing, getting up, writing something, dozing, getting up, writing something, I kind of prefer it that way a lot of the times, just being with me. Yeah, being with Andre is a wonderful thing. But in any event, so I was there, and then a thought came to mind. And I remember that, and maybe if you remember it, I want you to call me. I really and truly want you to call me, because I'm trying to figure out if I'm making a mistake. All right? But in any event, listen to this. I remember when the Grenada Nutmeg Association, the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, I remember when they had many challenges. Years gone by. And when they had those challenges, they reached out to government most, if not all of the time. When they had those challenges, most, if not all of the time, they reached out to government for assistance. Which meant that in order to reach out to government for assistance, it wasn't the secretary who made a phone call and said, government, can you give us some money here, please? No, it wasn't the secretary. It damn near wasn't the driver. No, it wasn't the driver at all. Wasn't the secretary, wasn't the driver. It wasn't the office manager either. Neither was it the person who was responsible for keeping all of them safe. I mean here, the cleaner. No. It had to do with the top brass. The manager, the chairman of the board, and a couple of group of people, the top brass within the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association. They were the ones who reached out to government for assistance in relation to back pay and other things. I'm almost sure that happened. If I am wrong, I want you to tell me that I'm wrong. Now, the chairman of the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, up until recently, and as recent as maybe 2-3 weeks ago, the chairman of the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association in recent times would have been a gentleman by the name of Mr. Leo Cato. He was the chairman. So he was the one who would lead any delegation to go to government. To go to government and say, hey, we are in problems here. We need some assistance. Yeah. So it was Mr. Cato who led the delegation. Now, the head of government then, or the prime minister then, who had the final say, even if at times he was not the minister for finance, but he had the final say whether or not it was a good thing to assist the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association so that farmers could get something and workers can still keep their jobs and pay their mortgages. That was Keith Mitchell, the Prime Minister, making that call. And the person going forward to ask for the assistance. No, he didn't beg. I wouldn't say that. He asked for the assistance was Mr. Leo Cato. Now, one would believe that between these two gentlemen would be a nice, cordial sort of relationship. One would believe that. However, as soon as Mr. Leo Cato would have risen to the position of Speaker of the House, and I hate to have to speak about the Speaker of the House, but I'm going to just speak this little piece, Mr. Cato, no disrespect here. As soon as you would have gotten to that position and you realize that, hey, I got this, I'm in control here, they have to listen to me. All right, so let me answer my boy. My boy, let me tell you something. Listen to me. I'm on air. And I'm speaking to you on air. So here's this. I want to speak to you a little bit about CMOS farming. Can you put down and I'll call you back in about 2 minutes? Thank you very much, my brother. Right. So put on and I'll call you back in 2 minutes. Right. So I'll call him back in 2 minutes. That was Carl Keaton there. Not Keith Mitchell. Right. So here's what, you know. Mr. Cato has arrived. And no, he's not supposed to grant any special favors to Keith Mitchell. No. In Parliament. But he can respect the man. The same man that would have kept him in his position all these years. How did he keep him? by affording him the opportunity to have monies at different times when nutmeg hit ground. Well, nutmeg are custom hitting ground once he fall. But you know what I mean. When nutmeg hit ground, Keith Mitchell afforded you, Mr. Cato. Keith Mitchell afforded you opportunities to have money in your hand. And now, you don't know Keith Mitchell again. You're disrespecting him every moment you get. That's not a good thing, Mr. Cato. Bandits say, hand wash hand, make hand clean. One hand can wash itself. Hand wash hand, make hand clean. You forget that. Right? That is what I had to say this morning about that. Let me go and see if I get a guy. Where's the guy? Let's see if I can find the guy and get a guy to answer his phone this time. Yeah. Calling him now. Yeah. Maybe he was going to the land. You never know. You don't answer anything. Oh, you answer. Hold on, partner. Hold on right there. Stay right there. Don't move. Don't move at all. This is how we deal with agriculture this morning. All right. I think I have it there. Let me make sure that I have everything, all the ducks lined up in a row, as they would say. Let me make sure. Right. So I've got that there, and I've got Mr. Keaton here. Carl Keaton, good morning.
Hey, hello.
A day easy up, man.
Cool.
Okay. I just wanted to take a couple of moments from your time this morning, because I was, just talking about the different aspects of agriculture and realizing that fishing falls under it. You have short crops, you have tree crops, and then I realized, hey, we have this new aspect creeping in, or maybe walking in. But you are someone who has quite a bit of experience in it. And I'm speaking here to sea moss as a crop. And you've been off to the islands many a times planting and harvesting sea moss. So I thought you might share maybe about 5-10 minutes of information with us in relation to sea moss. But then I also remembered that in order to give back pay sometimes and to keep the association running, Mr. Leo Cato had to ask Mr. Keith Mitchell for money. But no, Mr. Leo Cato don't remember none of that. He treating the guy like with scant courtesy. Good morning, Carl Caton. How you doing?
Morning, Mr. Donald. What's up?
Did you just laugh?
At first, I must say I'm not the repository of every knowledge as relates to CMOS. However, I could share the little bit that I have. Mm-hmm. It is a very interesting, I should say, crop or part of farming. One, because the experts have deemed the nutritional values in CMOS, and one of the things they talk about is trace elements in the right amount for the functioning of the human body. Mm-hmm. So every trace element or mineral that the body needs, the over 100 is present in CMOS. So the nutritional value in CMOS is very, very high and is a good thing, and persons who are not on to CMOS should get on to CMOS. Because I'll give you a practical example. There's somebody I know, they have some problem with their knees. And anytime they start using CMOS, it feels a lot better. So that's one area where I could attest to CMOS. Now, yeah, ask me what you want to ask me now.
It is being planted in Grenada presently, correct?
Yes.
Do you have to plant it in shallow water or do you have to plant it in deep water?
Well, shallow, calm water is always better because you don't want the wave action, because when it's growing, it's a bit fragile. So if the wave action too heavy, it could break it off from what you're planting.
Okay. So hence the reason why years ago, I used to go on the beach and pick up sea moss.
Yes.
Because the waves would break it when the water is really rough and bring it to the shore.
But also, apart from planting, there are those that grow in the wild. We call it wildcrafted. Some experts even say that it is more nutritional, the wildcrafted.
The wildcrafted sea moss. Now tell us the process of planting sea moss.
Well, basically, you get plants from already growing sea moss. In my experience, you use ropes and bottles to keep the ropes afloat. And then you use the cord like what farmers, when you're stringing tomatoes and so forth. You use that cord to tie on the sea moss to a main rope. So you run many main ropes as a lateral, and then you plant as much as, but you have to space it out on the rope. Between 1 to 2 months, you could harvest what is planted on the rope.
Is the ropes that you're running, are they run parallel to the beach or vertical?
Well, it depends on your position. You could run it parallel, you could run it vertical.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And you're saying here, in 3 months you can harvest. What do you do in the interim? What do you have to do to the moss in the interim, in that period from 0 to
remember
months?
In the sea you got like seaweeds and so on, maybe algae and things that would grow on the rope from time to time. So within the time of planting and harvesting, okay. If you have the ropes in the water already and say you harvest a crop and you need to replant, you need to clean the ropes. Clean out whatsoever, any debris or what you don't want on the rope. So you use a process, you use a knife and others, and you scrape the rope and clean it out. After you clean it out, you plant, but you have to keep monitoring it. So whenever things are growing on the rope that you don't want, you continue to clean. So cleaning is an integral part of getting it where you want.
No fertilizing.
No. the seed in itself, because remember, all the nutrients or nutrition from the soil was running to the sea after rain and so on. Hence the reason why the abundance of the trace elements.
All right. And when you harvest, what takes place after that? What takes place? Take us through.
Well, before you get to harvest, you could grow the green type. And then you have the normal type. In processing, you could determine whether you want it to be purple or you want it to be gold. It's all how you process it. So let me just walk you through a little thing. You have the flour bags then. You might go to a bakery or what and gather some bags. And you whilst harvesting, you put it in that bag, then you bring it out in the soap and let it drain out a bit, and then you move it. When you get to your area of processing, you will determine, well, I want some gold and I want some purple, and green is green already. Now, when you have the green type, you wash out the salt. It's very salty, eh? You wash out the salt and you process it. You go to the process of having it dried. You ain't drying it for it to become brittle, but dry enough so that it could last in storage. That's for the green. The purple, you do the same thing. You wash out the salt and you have it. Because you see, once it is moist, it will defeat the purpose of the purple and the green. You have to have it as dry as possible. So what you use, basically, you use nets so the air could flow right through. And you turn it from time to time to ensure that it is dry, that and it don't remain damp. The goal is why you go through a process of bleaching. And when I say bleaching, I don't mean using bleach in it. You cover it on maybe a marine ply, or in cases of galvanized, and you use plastic to cover it. Like you say, you sweat it like when you're sweating cocoa. A same process like that, and from time to time, you might open the plastic and turn it to ensure that all is bleached. When it is bleached, you take it out and you wash all the salt, and then you put it to dry, and you monitor it right through, because as I say, you don't want it to get too brittle. And then you package and so forth.
You package for shipping to wherever.
Yeah, for shipping or storage.
Okay. Now, there is now popping up in Grenada, because people prepare sea moss for drinking. I mean, drinking like instantly. But now we see popping up, and I believe former superintendent of police, Mr. Trevor Modest.
Yeah.
He has a business going where he prepares sea moss, he grinds it so that you can it's like into powder, so it's like an instant drink. Do you know about that? Do you know about that?
Well, without claiming any fame to the gentleman's thing, I know about it because me one of the things, me and him, we are good friends, and the whole idea and the supply of the same sea moss for that project value added. I'm aware of that.
You're aware of that.
And it is very potent because you see when you get it to the powder form, 4 cups of water to 1 tablespoon gives you the gel you need. So you don't have to use a lot to get to the gel. And it's simply this: you boil your water as usual, and if you want to put whatsoever spices in it, and then you mix in the powder, and you go to the process like how people do Jello. It's the same process. You mix it in, and then you put it in the refrigerator, and it cools, and it becomes a gel, and you don't have to use all if you don't want to use what part. And apart from making drink, you could use it as a salad and so on if you want to.
You mean the grounded one?
Yeah, after you mix it in with the water and you set it like a jello, you could use the same thing like jello. You could put whatever fruits together with it and consume it. You don't must make it the drink.
Okay.
You could consume it like that because you have the gel.
Okay. Interesting. And would you say, for someone who's listening and probably living in an area where they can do it or have the ability to do it here on mainland, is it a good business to get into?
It is a good business to get into because you're on the international market now, and because of the health benefits from it, a lot of persons are now searching for supplies. So it is a lucrative business. I hope the powers that be would assist persons in getting to that point where it makes a lot of economic sense.
Well, while a lot of people was laughing and criticizing and doing all sort of things about and saying all sort of things about what is now called the breakwater, a couple weeks ago, I believe it was government who facilitated a program in the said breakwater as it relates to sea moss.
Yeah, I know of that program. I know of the persons involved in that.
Okay. Well, let me just read a couple comments for you here, Carl. First comment, it comes from somebody said they're listening in Chef Kamahong says they're listening from Bolio, and Goddess Bella, our listener in Texas, she said she got sea moss from Lucia and can't wait to get some from Grenada. So we might have to send up a stock of sea moss for Goddess Bella. We can't let her be using
Tell Goddess Bella I have it in large amounts.
You have it in large amounts. So we got to do something, get some off to her. And she also says, and I'm reading here, I don't think the powder form is beneficial, only for persons' pocket. But as for health benefits, powder form lessons on it. Do you agree?
I'm not like I say, I'm not the repository of every knowledge, but the process to the powder is a shortcut to preparing it. So I don't think there's anything, because I wonder if I should give her I won't give her the secret of getting to the powder, but it's just a shorter way of getting to what you want to get.
Okay.
Because you know the normal process is to get it boiled and cool and so on.
Yeah.
But what the powder does, it gives you, like if you only go, instant. You just warm your water, mix and go.
And go.
You don't have to soak overnight and all this kind of thing. And so I don't know. I'm neither here nor there on that.
On the powder. Well,
Yeah.
all right. No, there. I want to shift you a bit.
And then the powder gives you the ability to move with a lot of seamers without in a bulk way.
Okay. Is it very expensive?
Well, it depends because you see about 3 pounds of sea moss dried gives you about 3 grams of powder. So that to tell you how potent the powder is.
Well, Goddess is laughing at you now, and she's laughing. LOL, Carl. She says powder form is for lazy people.
well, that's how. Well, she's entitled to her opinion. I can't vex with that.
Yeah, she's laughing now. Anyway, I want to shift you a bit before you run off because are you going to your farm today?
I'm on the farm.
Oh, you're on the farm. Okay. So quickly tell us what you got.
Well, presently now, the season paper I talked to you a bit about it. They start declaring their hands now.
Oh, great. So you know that is a lot of work, eh? Picking.
That would be the acid test.
Yeah, that picking is gonna be a lot of work. Watermelons? No?
Nah, we don't get into watermelon. We cleaning a patch now. So we contemplating watermelons also.
I know you got
we're trying to clean a patch to get. We're trying to clean up the tractor to come in and do some plowing and so.
Okay, because I know you got hit the first time with some watermelons. You didn't do very well.
Nah.
Okay. But definitely you'll be hitting the scenes.
Because we want to start on some bell peppers and what you call eggplants also.
Eggplants. Okay, great. I raised something this morning, and there's a new person who's commenting under the sobriquet of JB. And what I raised, Keaton, has to do with the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association and the fact that in years gone by, from time to time, the association had to reach out to government.
Yeah.
So as to get help from time to time.
As a matter of fact, it became a habit of the association. They expected it to happen every year.
Right. So I said anybody who thought I was, speaking out of turn or knew differently, they can call me. And I said that at the end of the day, whether or not Keith Mitchell was finance minister, as prime minister, the buck stopped with him, whether or not he thought that government should do it, correct?
Yeah, well, it has to go to cabinet, and he's the chairman of cabinet, so ultimately the buck stopped with him.
Ultimately, the buck stopped with him. So here's the first comment from the person who identifies as JB. Mr. Cato, and I'm going to read just like how they write, so people don't feel like it's me that can't read. Mr. Cato didn't ask W personal favor government works with GCNA. No comparison. What does that mean, Carl?
I don't get that now.
I want to read it again. Mr. Cato didn't ask W personal favor government works with GCNA. No comparison. I'm still trying to figure that one out. So, we need to get things together.
Clear the air.
Clear the air on that. Then JB comments again. Keith Mitchell needs to adhere to parliament rules. He has to do as the speaker says. Any comment on that?
The speaker, based on custom and what is expected, is just the referee. And this particular speaker, we know of his bias against Dr. Mitchell, because he, from time to time, had been outspoken how he feels about Dr. Mitchell. And what is happening in Parliament most times, we understand he's not a good referee. And when we say that, let me quantify that first. Remember the big dogs issue?
Mm-hmm.
And then every time the leader he always have cross banter in parliament, but there's a line, there's levels to it. And every time Dr. Mitchell get up to speak, certain people on the other side, because when you can in parliament, you shouldn't speak directly to somebody, you should speak to the person through the speaker.
Correct.
But we find that happening. You lie, sit down, right or go, and the speaker allows all these things to happen, pretending to see it. Let me look at the prime minister, present prime minister, stood up on a point of order when somebody was speaking, and the point of order was based on a previous speaker.
Mm-hmm.
And the speaker just sat there like Alice in Wonderland. And if you notice and if you look good, when the prime minister don't speak, he turn it back to the speaker like he don't what happened to it. So the speaker knows he's not performing with distinction. He knows he's biased. So, I mean, yes, he is a referee, but he has to understand fairness is all that is asked of him. Fairness. Yeah.
Fairness is all we ask of him. Someone just put up a comment here, and I'm going to read it. Andre, with all biases aside, the speaker controls the proceedings of the House. We may not like it, but whomsoever occupies the chair controls the House. Now, technically, you are correct. I'll say to that person, technically, you are correct. However, whosoever controls the majority in the House controls the Speaker of the House.
Well, whosoever controls the majority, they'll select the Speaker of the House.
Selects the Speaker of the House. So based on who you select, you must control that person. So just so my good Chef Kamahong, yeah. Whosoever controls the majority in the House controls the Speaker of the House. Yeah. So what are you gonna do now? You're gonna plant or you're gonna weed?
I'm gonna set up some water first, and then I have to do some weeding. I have to also I usually what you call it mowing plants and so on. Cleaning, weeding.
Mm-hmm. So when
you mow, you aerate the soil, so you give the plants enough oxygen to add to the microbes in the soil to grow.
Another 4-5 hours?
Yeah, I usually live here about 1-2 when the sun gets unbearable.
Okay. Well, all the best.
How I usually perform here, Dre, if I get somebody to work for me, which I do from time to time, I expect an honest day's work.
Mm-hmm.
So when I work in, I have to put in an honest day's work.
I want to, as you have said that, I would like for you to do some research for your program on Friday as it relates to the minimum wage.
Yeah, because I think there are topics I need to speak to, because a lot of people meeting me and tell me how the minimum, and the only thing they get from the minimum wage is they go get more money. But my question is, the minimum wage already set up, you have to do enough work for the money. Like I always say in terms of, I'm dealing in farming, so let me speak on farming. Now, usually somebody comes on your farm and you pays them $50 or $60 a day. If you are based on how long, if you harvesting, you might give them something more based on thing. But basically, ballpark 50, 60. Now, if the minimum wage is $10 an hour, that means you expect somebody to come on your farm agriculture from 8 to 1. How much people are come 8 to 100 on a farm? And that is the crux of the matter. And then we have construction work where we know some skilled men working for $200 a day. Based on how much the minimum wage per hour, how much hours they got to work to make that money. So it's something that is not just how much money you're going to make.
Carl, you view it that way, and I'll give you an insight into my view.
Yeah.
An insight into my view is that it is the government's intention to make cost of living very high. Because in order, for instance, if you're going to say to Kenny Lal Singh, you have to do this amount, and let folks know, and I think you said it, I am in no way against minimum wage.
No, I'm not against
We
it.
just speaking the facts. If Kenny Lal Singh has to do what the government is requesting in terms of minimum wage for the, I'm talking here the amount for his employees, the first thing he has to do is to lift the prices on all different items he has, because he cannot be taking monies from his personal funds so as to meet wages. So he will have to get money from somewhere, and the only way he can get monies is by selling goods. So if the wage bill has to go up, then the cost of the goods must go up. And as the that wrestler, what is his name? And that's the bottom line. Do you understand? That Stone Cold, yeah, bottom line. So I believe that government has an intention to cause cost of living to be too high, and people are going to suffer.
Based on some information I got, government intend to tackle this. The person say government intend to tackle this cost of living out a year and a half away. Because there are certain things they have to do, like what they do with the key or the other things, to make sure when they make the one time they make their money. So cost of living is on the back burner still.
Oh, okay. Well, let me not keep you from your work, my brother. I thank you for your companionship this morning, and the information you gave was really on target, as they say, to use Mr. Pierre's program name. The information was on target, and I hope that someone, at least one person, would have learned a bit from it. Again, Carl, thank you very much, and keep the agricultural flag flying high.
All right, okay, take it.
All right, good. It's real, it's 91. I was about to take a commercial break. There's a caller online. Caller, I'm going to take you, and then I'm going to go to commercial break. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Angelo. Good morning to Mr. Carl Keaton and everybody else in Grenada. Nice piece of topic there. And, well, I think you were right in a lot of it. The matter with the Prime Minister, the ex-Prime Minister and the Speaker, a little bit controversial because the Speaker controls the House in terms of chairman, but the Speaker don't have to give any special favor for any personnel there, right? Everybody, they have to be treated the same way, like the ministers and the non-ministers. Once you are a parliamentary personnel, you should be treated the same way. So the Speaker don't have to favor nobody. Neither Dr. Mitchell do not expect any favor from the Speaker because what he did for him when he was Prime Minister, right? It's two different kettle of fish there. But the Speaker, I personally felt that the Speaker have not been playing the role that he should be playing in this Parliament, and that have nothing to do with whatever favor he did for the Prime Minister, for the Ministry of, for the Cocoa and Nutmeg Association. Yes, they have to go to the Prime Minister and lobby, and they will have to go to this Prime Minister and lobby just the same way. So, two different kettle of fish. But in terms of what Mr. Caton just told you about the price, the lifting in prices and wages, I too support just what he said. And I support what you said too, because we've seen that trend. Yes, people need much more money. People are underpaid. But to get to more money, it means that the person that paying have to put out more money. And if the person that paying have to put out more money, it simply means that the reward for that person have to be greater. So it's a very, very serious situation. And I thought that hearing what the Attorney General said, seeing that she said that they have to go back to the people she should not have not announced that full package yet. Because if you have to go back to the people, to the farmers and employers and whatnot, I think you could put yourself in a ditch there. So she should not, because she said that that thing would have come out by December, and by January of next year, they would have want to implement it. No, you bring it out 2-3 months before the end of the year. And if you have to go back to the persons, and they can't reach that high mark that you set, could cause some chaos. Because while I agree that agricultural workers need more pay, if you're going to be paying agricultural workers $12 a day, an hour, so that's, and you're talking 5 hours, 12, 5, 60, you're wondering what will happen, because there are certain work in the estate or in your farm that cannot be done in just in the 5 hours. So what will have to happen there? How are you going to be treating that? If you're basing the agricultural work on just hours of work, I think we could find the farmer could find himself in some problems there, having to go up with a high wage for the worker, and don't receive, because the farmer expect what is being paid by the market. So in other words, if cocoa price goes up or down, the farmers suffer. If nutmeg price goes up or down, the farmer have to bear that cost. So if the farmer to bear that cost, and you tell him, the farmer, you have to pay that person that money, what happens? And there's nothing to doubt that the people doesn't need more money. They definitely need more money. But it have to be based on your production, economic balance. And I think that is where a problem is, as I see.
All right, Cliff. Good.
Thank you.
Good. Now, I need to get something out of the way before I take this commercial break that I needed to take, or I need to take. In no way was I asking the Speaker of the House to do favors for Keith Mitchell. Didn't say that. Because Keith Mitchell would have done what Keith Mitchell, needed to do for the farmers of the nation. Because when the Cocoa Association made the request, Nutmeg Association made the request, and he acceded to the request, and he said, okay, fine. You didn't give it to preserve Cato's job. You gave it because he cared about the farmers and about the other workers in GCNA. All right? So why did I do so and clash those two where they're clashing now? If someone and yourself, a person yourself, have a cordial relationship, it must not just be a cordial relationship when you're in private. It must be all through. Not behind closed doors, you shake hands with the person and you're smiling, and then when the public can see, you behave with the person like if you ain't know that person. And while it is important to understand and it is important to know that Mr. Cato is in charge of the house, yes, he's a referee. It is also important to know that Keith Mitchell is the father of the house. And the father of the house is not just for politicians. He's the father of the house for all and sundry who work in the house. And when I say house, I mean an NP house. I'm talking about Parliament. He's the father in Parliament. He's the person who has the most experience in Parliament. So much so he might know the standing orders. If you ask him to repeat every one of the standing orders, he could repeat them in order, bang, 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 bang. So I'm not asking Mr. Cato to do favors for Keith Mitchell because Keith Mitchell assisted the farmers. No, I'm saying what you need to do is that you need to put away your biases when it comes to everybody within the house. I have my biases here, yes, but it doesn't mean that if I have to interview Mr. Andor, speaking here of parliamentary representative for the St. Patrick West constituency, Joseph Andal, if I have to interview Joseph Andal, if I invite him here and he comes here, I am not going to treat him like if he's a half-starved child. I have to treat him proper because you need him to come back. Those of you listening who would remember that I interviewed members of government when the NDC was in office. Members of government like Nazim Burke, who was the finance minister. The minister for education, what's her name again? Help me. She grew up in St. Patrick's here. What was the minister for education? Anyway, I forgot your name, but don't worry. She was one of the what you call it recently, one of the assistants recently. Somebody had her name. Anyway, the name will come. And I also interviewed, and he came to the studio, not via phone. Nazim Burke I did via phone. But the Prime Minister, the Honorable Tillman Thomas, he came to the studio. And you can ask him, it's probably one of the better interviews he ever had. There were no biases there. I asked pertinent questions. There are no biases. And we have to do better than that. And what I'm calling for is for Mr. Cato to put aside his biases when it comes to any member of the House and deal with the thing just as the rule book says. Just as the book said. Well, you take the lady name don't come in at all. Now, BJ, you know, tell me, huh? No. The Minister for Education. What was her name in the NDC administration? What was her name?
She had, I don't know. She had married some lawyer guy down St. George's or so.
She grew up in the villa.
I don't know.
She spent. I don't know. How could I just? This is strange.
Franca
Bernardine. Franca Bernardine. Thank you very much, ma'am. Franca Bernardine. Yeah. I interviewed Franca Bernardine. She drove up. BJ. She drove up from St. George's and came to the same station that you, and I ain't speaking to you now, BJ. I'm speaking to the listener. The same station you call the NNP station. Franca Bernardine drove up from St. George's, yeah, to be interviewed by me. Nazim Burke, he didn't drive up, but he made himself available by phone to be interviewed by me. Prime Minister Tillman Thomas, he drove to the station. My daughter said, Daddy, I've seen a lot of police around. What happened in there? They locking you up? But he drove there to be interviewed by me. So I'm saying to you, when it comes to my profession, all biases aside. If I'm doing a talk show, ain't nothing wrong with that. When it comes to my profession and I'm doing an interview with you, I treat you with utmost respect. Utmost respect. And that is what I'm trying to speak to in relation to Mr. Cato. Stay with us, friends. We will be right back.
Agriculture is the number one. Number one. Yes, the number.
Soon it will be back to school, and KNR Bookstore offers you an open invitation to visit and cash in on all your school supplies going at bargain prices. You can't afford to miss out on this. Notebooks, markers, geometry sets, pens, pencils, pocket folders, binders, planners, Play-Doh, crayons, acrylic glue in a variety of colors, finger paint, watercolors, water paint, kindergarten storybooks, jumbo coloring books, and more. Buy one, get one free. Prices to suit your pocket. Check us out for all your back-to-school needs. KNR Bookstore and Stationery, 231-3500 at the corner of Young and Scott Streets. Back to school.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness, keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pocket every month. Plus, now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Where would you go to get screened for cancer? The city. So, where would you go to get a biopsy done? The city, of course. Well, I have news for you. Dr. Noroka Moya Santos, an oncologist located at Gladstone Road in Granville, St. Andrew, at room number 5, will be able to assist you. She provides general assessments, including tumor screening. Children, teenagers, women, and men can visit. She is a comprehensive family doctor. She also offers pap smears, home visits, and provides palliative care. Her work is supplemented by the efficiency of Alice Labs in St. Andrews and Fit for Life Clinic in Grandans. Her hours of operations are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Eliminate the stress of traveling and visit our Dr. Santos Health Office in your neck of the woods. You can walk in or call for an appointment at 449-7926 or 442-4721. Tomar, La Salud, and Sirio. Take your health seriously.
Yes, agriculture is the number one. Number one, yes, the number one. Oh yes, the number one. It's the number is on agriculture. I'm talking to the youths of this nation and those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Well, from here to the revolution, agriculture was on top. Man Jack and didn't do too bad. After that, you know the whole thing flop. Why? Everybody want to sit down in computer, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer, agriculture, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. You could live without clothes, and they forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. I tell you just now, my brothers, all you go with them computers. To ship plenty nectars.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the WORLD. My name, of course, Andre Donald. And with you again for yet another day in this beautiful land that God has given us to live. And, as you know, most times I have a guest. Yeah, most times I have a guest with me. And do I have a guest this morning? Well, don't you think I should? I should have a guest this morning. There's absolutely nothing stopping me from having a guest this morning, and my guest is always my bona fide brethren. Yeah, my guest is always. Oh, you want to know who? Yeah, well, my bona fide brethren is always. He always stops by. Good morning to you. Bertrand John, how are you doing this morning? Did you just disappear on me? Oh, me oh my. Okay, so I need to bring Bertrand's camera maybe a little bit this way. Yeah, I think I got it. How you doing?
Thanks, Andre.
Okay, how was your week so far?
Good.
What did you do that I didn't do?
Work hard.
Ah, stop it. That's not nice. I'm your friend. I just said bona fide.
Yeah.
And you telling me I ain't working hard?
You that's definitely in there, you know.
That's definitely that trap, yeah. All right. Okay, so what's new? What's happening? Anything new you're hearing in the agricultural circle? Anything new?
What new? I think it was sometime last week. Was passing and saw the permanent secretary in agriculture, Aaron Francois, and he was talking about government initiative to bring in some cows, special breed, and the government intention of spending a sizable sum of money, and the intention was to bring it in and so far keep them in feedlot. Breed them, and that asylum is good within the execution.
Well, I've heard this before, and I know, and I'm not hitting a government. I'm just hitting at the system. The system has brought in goats, and the objective of the goats, of bringing in the goats, was to spread the breed throughout the island. The system of the island. Sheep. They've done this. I'm here. What is going to be different for this system? That's my question.
I hope it works.
I hope it works for the benefit of the country. But the system is broken. And until the system is fixed, by an administration on the administration. The workers inside of the listen. A man tell me about some sheep, or goats was it? Somewhere in St. David's, where they had some sheep or goats in a pen.
Mm-hmm.
And they paying one man to watch man them about and the tina's plywood. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
No, the system is broken.
No, Andre, if it's set up, monitored, controlled, and you put the appropriate people to manage it, I'm sure it can work. As you was saying, the system is a problem. This can be rectified. The government have qualified people to do those things. It's people we and whether or not they're motivated to do what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, we have veterinary science people. We have people who deal with animal husbandry. There are people who deal with animal nutrition. There are all those people sitting in the ministry, And if we tap into the resources and ensure that they're organized properly, I'm sure something meaningful can come out of a project like that. But again, it's we.
But you just said the people sitting in the ministry. That's the problem. That's what about.
Get them out. Organize them in such a way where they can produce. Why are you watching me so serious?
No, but it happens every time. Where are the cows coming from?
Didn't Andrea just get a glimpse on the telly? I was just walking past and I thought what they were saying sort of a sounded interested. So I, stopped and take a sneak peek and realized that was the essence of what they were saying. I don't listen to what this administration is saying too much until they restore the $150. Then they can get my ears. So long as they don't give back the vulnerable people and the needy people in our country, that $150, they're not attracting my attention.
Good morning. I thought we had a caller. I saw the light come on there, but we seemed like we lost that caller.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you think they should bring those animals from, though? If you had anything to do with it?
Well, Andre, those animals probably can come out of places like, I don't know, if Texas, hot places. Yeah, places that even Jamaica. There are a lot of good breeds in Jamaica.
Not places like
not temperate countries, and then you find that you have problems with the animal with regard to the hot climate and all those. There are different animals for different climates,
Okay.
I assume that they have specialists there who would look into those things. I'm much more knowledgeable and qualified than I am to talk about those. I'm sure they would do a good job. They had some really good veterinary officers who passed through the ministry, People like Mr. Morgan and Mr. Pierre and David and Dr. Diane, I think. Yeah. Quite a few people around who knew what they're about.
Well, Augustine David is still there. And I'm sure you'd be able to help. He's a young guy.
Used to be manufacturing feed and sell it real expensive to the farmers.
Is he still doing that?
I'm not sure.
Used to be a politician too.
Used to be everything.
Good morning to you, caller. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Andre.
Talk to me.
Mr. Diddy. This wage thing they're talking about, I want to know about it and to get it clearer, because what I understand that they're bringing up the price of laborers and everything. And I want to know, how we going to pay when we were living by our land, nutmeg and cocoa, and the nutmeg and the cocoa, they don't bringing up the price. So how are we going to do when they don't bring up the cocoa and the nutmeg price? And now they say that when we go in and sell nutmeg, we have to work with the ID card. So I want to, I don't understand. So I want to see if you and Mr. BJ could make me understand that, please.
Okay, thank you. We'll try. BJ, this is a voice crying out in the wilderness. The whole aspect of minimum wage and how it is going to affect. It doesn't just affect, Real FM. It affects BJ on his farm. It affects this lady who probably have an acre or two with nutmegs and other things, and she can pay someone a day. If that person goes in and brings out, say, 100 pounds of nutmeg, she could afford to pay that person for the day and still get something to go by. But now, based on what is being said, and there are no proper explanation, and then I'm hearing that the Attorney General is saying that they probably have to go back to the people with it. Then if you know you have to go back to the people, then why did you, in the first case, put out anything? So she is in limbo, and everybody else is in limbo. What gives?
Andrew, I think when it comes to looking at wages, people also have to look at production. And they're supposed to go hand in hand. Let me give you an example. A lot of years ago, there was a hurricane that passed in Jamaica named Hurricane Gilbert. I was there, and the place where I used to live got mashed up. So I said, instead of coming back to Grenada, let me go and try to, make some money in the U.S. I went there and looked for a job. I started working with some Jew guys. They were really nice people. And winter started coming in. It was December, January. And I started feeling really cold. So one morning I said, something, I will make an excuse, I can't make it this morning. So I called the man and I said, yo, one of our brethren coming from Grenada, I have to go on the airport. I will come, to work after 12, So I decided to sleep out in the morning, make an excuse. When the man and them paying, every week they used to pay, They say, how much days you work? I say, I work 6 days. Show them is Adventist, they work on Saturdays. They say, brethren, you work 5.5 days, I say, you mean you really deducting the half day? They say, yes, BG, that's why you go here. That's all I'm saying. You didn't work, you don't get paid, And I thought, wow, I'm working really hard for those guys and just miss out half day. And see what I'm, I'm saying that, in serious developed industrialized country, people take work at a different level. They see it differently. You don't produce, you don't get paid. And I think in small countries like Grenada where, everybody, sometimes you have a problem trying to regularize those. Because guys would come on your farm for, 2-3 hours? Yeah. And they want $60, $70 a day. And you say, guys, you're working for $30, $35 a day, an hour, And which country was paying that? Very few countries.
But as a matter of fact, they're probably working for more money than the Prime Minister.
Yeah, if they work 8 hours.
If they work 8 hours, they kill you, BJ.
So you understand, those things need to look at, you have technical ways how to measure and analyze and come up with an average package that suits everybody. But the mere fact that you're going to just jump and say, something, minimum wages is X, Y, and Z, this can affect your economy in a very adverse way, if you're not careful. The effect you're trying to attain, the result you're trying to achieve, sometimes it's reactionary. Sometimes you go backward.
You know what one of the first things that can happen there, BJ, is simply this: you, at present, sell a pound of tomatoes for $4, and if you have to attain the money to pay the man them X amount, then your tomatoes might have to go to $5 or $6 a pound.
Well,
in order for you to make the money.
That's what happens, Andrew.
Cost of living is going to go up.
Wages is part of production costs. And if you increase the wages, you're increasing the production costs. And if you increase the production costs, generally for you to make the same profit, either you get more efficient, either you produce more, you bring up the price of the produce. That's the only two ways. Yeah. You don't have no other way beside those. So either you get very, very efficient, or you increase the price of the produce.
But even if you get very, very efficient, BJ, that's a risk.
Well, yes, it is a risk because you would not get very, very efficient if the labor force activities remain the same.
So the only thing that is not a risk is to jack up the price. Not jack up the price, but
the price will have to go up.
We'll put the price where it has to be.
Well, and that's the problem. Then what boils down to the consumers have to pay more for the produce.
That's true.
And that's the effect that you don't really want to have.
This is I always shudder when any government puts the cart before the horse. And this is a typical situation of putting the cart before the horse. Because you were seeing the report. You're the first person seeing the report. And no do so on seeing that report. You just do so and decide, you know what, I'm still going to release the report.
You know, Andre, it don't really take slavery to make people work hard and produce more, you know. It takes motivation. And we have an unmotivated population. And when we see people come here and really working and doing they do, you say, but wait, where them come out? We say the same thing about the Cubans. We say the same thing about the Chinese. How they producing like that? How comes they working late hours? How comes they working for long hours? How comes they don't tacking on the job? How comes, you know, they always, you know, some activities always taking place, you know? That's what happens, Andre. You know, a guy was giving me a story. He said, Bridget, when they was building the stadium, the Chinese was building the stadium, something fell on one guy's foot, and, you know, he get a sick leave and bring it. And the guy said, yes, you know, we understand that you have a sick leave. Come, sit here, you know. And he give him a pan and nail. And he said, straighten up them nails and them. You don't have to use your foot, you don't have to do nothing.
No.
But you're producing for us.
Produce and get paid.
We get paid for it.
BJ, when I used to live up the High Street area and the Chinese were doing the wing at McDonald College, the latest wing that they built at McDonald College was a Chinese company doing the wing, BJ. And there were guys from the Lamode and Mali area. BJ, work starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's when they have to get there. What was it, 7 or 8? Anyway, but the time they had to get there, BJ, you swear say your dog chasing them. Because BJ, they're running through that cemetery, running down Mali to get there for the time. But here's what. The same set of guys, they will get a walk with Mato or with Joe. They get a walk with them. And they strolling. And they reaching right there and they standing up and watch the walk like if them is the foreman.
Nobody back attitude when it comes to work, Andre. This is common here. We have to change our work attitude in order to produce more, in order to develop our country. We have to change the way we perceive work. We see work as just something to attain money. It isn't just something to attain money. It's something to develop a country too. There is no other way to develop a country than to work hard, you know. If somebody knows other way, they need to tell me. Even if you find natural resources, you have to work hard on it in order to generate revenue.
Okay, the time has now moved on to 19 minutes, and that is before the 9 o'clock hour. BJ and myself going until 9 o'clock. BJ, I'm going to put up a statement, and I don't call people statements stupid. I don't say people are idiots, but I say that some people need to do something and let somebody rearrange the ignorance. I'm going to read the statement for you. Call, I'm coming to you. And it's by that gentleman or that person who identifies as JB this morning. Here's what it says, BJ. Prices will have to go up, but it will be lower from the increase in minimum wage. Think about it. BJ, explain that to me. Did you hear what I said?
I don't understand the logics in that. My brain, Andrew, have limited full, and he could understand certain things. And certain things, when it starts to sound fun in my head, it don't register. If I tell you I don't hear what you say, you probably would think I'm funny.
No.
I realize you start to go off track, and my brain can't comprehend. Your pop in my tranquility hearing what you just said.
But this person make a kind of statement this morning, and then they come back again and they make a next one. Listen, let me tell you something, JB. Let me tell you something, JB. Here they say, I don't know who you are, but I seriously care about you. Do not go under the impression that Real FM or BJ and Andre or any person for that matter is against the government of Grenada. The government of Grenada belongs to all of us. We will point out what we deem to be flaws in the governance of the country. It doesn't mean that we against and we want to kill them. No. That's not it.
We just give them praises for the idea of bringing in the animals and
we just
developing the flock and ensuring that the breeds can be spread through the country.
And we're telling them, look at the system.
Yeah,
look at the system
we don't want it to fail.
We want it to fail. So don't get the impression. So you don't have to do something, quickly type something and make yourself sound kind of stupid. I mean, it's a good thing you're going on that false thing so nobody know.
Andre, there is no sense in the price of produce going up and you increase the person's pay comparatively. It comes back to the same thing. It doesn't put the person in a better position economically.
It puts the country in a worse position.
Exactly. Because the money that you get, you just spend it back on food. And you don't really want that. You want other, disposable income that you're able to do other things. Andre, when capitalism reaches its extreme stage, it gone to something they call imperialism. And that's when the system, the country, and the economy and the society start to decay. That's when you find disparity in class and class structure. That's what causes it. Some rich people and some poor people.
Right. So just let JB know that I will not read. Anytime you post again, I will not read. You'll just post for posting's sake. I will not read because you need to have your ignorance rearranged a little bit. Caller, good morning to you. How you doing?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
August. First of all, I'm calling. I would like to have BJ number.
No.
Will I get some bananas from him if possible?
Well, you're in the wind somewhat, and we're not hearing you clearly.
Okay.
So if you can move away from the wind, then you can you can have a conversation with us.
All right. Is it better?
That's a bit better, yes.
All right. First of all, I would like to have BJ number.
Mm-hmm.
If possible, will I buy some bananas from him?
You want to buy some bananas from him?
Yes, ripe bananas.
Ripe bananas.
Ripe bananas, okay.
He can call 415-9009.
You got that? Okay, I guess your phone dropped out there, brother, but the number you can call for the ripe bananas, 415-9009. That's the number you can call, and the company will be able to hook you up with the ripe bananas. All right, 415-9009. All right, I hope you got that. If you didn't and you want to call back, I'm sure my memory has it locked in there. Moving now to 14 minutes before the top. So yes, JB, coming back to you. Do message again and make it. You see, that guy you see there, JB, I don't know if you're familiar with It's a Tears, but there's a guy who sits by the bank there almost every day. And his name is Winston White. And he once said to me, it is better that you sit and keep your mouth shut. In your case, JB, keep your fingers on the typing system. It's better that you sit down and keep your mouth shut than you open your mouth and people realize you're stupid. Sit down and keep your mouth shut, and that's okay. Okay, if you open your mouth and you will realize that you don't have sense. Come on. We've got another caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good
morning. And I like yesterday or the before plant some seeds. I wonder if the time was good to do that. I want to ask that DJ that.
I don't really plant with moon as most people would do. Plant when the plants are available. And in fact,
plant some peas.
But stop doing that. If you ask BJ a question, let him answer the question and don't ask him another question inside the question.
Okay.
Right, cool.
But I assume that if the peas germinate and start growing and you give it the right fertilizer, you will get crops from it. You will get it to produce. Sometimes people choose the moon and they say they get better results, and I'm sure it probably work. But I don't know about moon or anything like that.
The moon change, I think it was the day before.
Yeah, some people will tell you need to plant underground when the moon is getting dark and above ground when it's coming up before it's cut into the full moon. People will tell you those, but I don't really plant with those things. I don't look at those. But I'm sure that it worked for some people. And if it didn't work, some people would not have done it.
Okay. Credit again. Oh my God, credit finished.
Andre, what we don't really realize is that the world is an interrelated place, and sometimes your education can actually turn you into a slave. The way you educate yourself, the way you perceive life. Slavery is no longer physical, but we have a lot of slaves around still, mentally enchained, in the thoughts and stuff like that. You want to know what it is happening to us in Grenada. Yeah, everything, we look at it from a political point of view. And generally, it's not rational, because you have a bias to whatever side you might be looking at it from, and those kind of things. And that in itself distorts you from making the right decisions, even from producing properly. See here, one government in power, and they want to make all the people from the other side go.
Yeah.
And I guess when another government come into power again, the same thing may happen. And you want your country to produce. You're delusional.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got cut off earlier on.
Yeah.
So first of all, to have BJ number, if possible.
I gave you a number. The number is 415.
Okay, the number is there?
Yeah, but you can get my number, 415-8008. That's my number.
Right. BJ number is 415-8008. But if you want to talk directly to the folks who could give you bananas like now,
okay,
call them on 415-9009. So it's two numbers. The first one you got is BJ's personal number, and the second one you got will be for
the banana supply.
The banana supply one time. They can put you on track immediately.
Okay. Thank you for that.
No problem.
I would like to also make this statement. Based on the comment that the person made, but increases would not affect the... How exactly they word it? It will not affect... basically, any increase that goes into business, the business makes a profit on that increase.
Say that again.
You understand? As any increase the business occurs, the business will make a profit on that increase. And markup will go on top of that.
Well, of course,
so
if they're going if they're going to put an increase so as to take care of whatever rise takes place in wages, they will put an extra 2 cents that they will profit from. It's
exactly.
It's obvious.
So the workers will not be in a better position, based on my analysis.
All right, thank you. And we're here. Okay. Hello.
I'm here.
Where are you calling from?
Grenada.
Okay. I doesn't go through all this long thing. If you don't want to say, just say I prefer not to say. You give me garbage like you're calling from Grenada. So is that idiot? What? Yeah. I don't like this kind of thing, and the BJ must stop.
Andre, when you go to school, the syllabus, the curriculum, what they teach you in school, it don't prepare you for modern day employment. It's just academic qualifications so you can pass and have some credential behind your name. How many of us that went through school and they teach us how to process nutmegs and to process bananas and to process cocoa and stuff like that? We haven't been taught that in school. Think about the syllabus and think what they teach us. Probably we don't have no oil here, and they will get probably more lecture on oil than any other thing.
On the moon.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And we're not preparing our people, run our country in such a way that we can maximize our output and maximize on the resources that we have. We're teaching them things that is not applicable. And this is the problem that we have in Andre. You know, while we are sitting here and we're trying to learn all kind of international stuff, the people out there, like in Germany and those places, they don't even have one nutmeg tree, but they know how to process with nutmegs and to send it back for us.
And to send it back for us.
More than the slavery. Economic slavery. When we should be taking the money from us under the yoke. And we can't see that. Instead of we really correcting that problem, we turn around and we're fighting against each other. We turn around and we're playing politics with everything. We turn around and we're bashing our brothers. We turn around and we're taking 150 from the poorest and most vulnerable people in our country. And then we turn around and tell the children, produce more, work hard. Work hard and you watch your granny can't even put a piece of tobacco in she pipe to smoke because she can't buy it. And she having holy rheumatism pain. You understand? Andre, I'm not sure if some people living in the real world, you know.
I'm laughing at different things, BJ, because the listeners and viewers, they get vexed with the guy that say he living in Grenada. They get vexed with him. I say, he want bananas. And where you calling from Grenada? Let you go and get the bananas. But easy. That is BJ's private business. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That is business. We deal with business. But it's just that they get vexed with that because they realize that But anyway, don't worry.
Even that, Andre. We need to be really tolerant in our country. We need to be a little more tolerant. We need to be more, accommodating. We flare up for no reason at all these days, and it's kind of scaring me. I couldn't understand why, because of the atmosphere. But we need to always think rationally, calm down ourselves, be loving and peaceful. You will live for longer,
We've got one more call before we start to wrap up. Good morning.
Good morning, Andre. Good
morning, Raston.
Good morning, boss.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I want to touch a little bit on the minimum wage for agriculture people like me, and BG and them, so other people. Yeah, I would agree that man need to get a little thing more, and they pay. And if you're getting more and they pay, you should give more work, innit?
Of course.
If they are paying you more, you have to give me more. That's how everything's supposed to be. But I go back now with the nutmeg and cocoa farmers. A few months back, the Nutmeg Association plan to cut back on the price of nutmeg. I hope everybody remember that. Right? And they will bring it there. They will bring it. So how the nutmeg and the cocoa farmers go make money? How they go pay them people when they're getting less? Yeah, so I don't know, but these things are supposed to do properly. But everybody come together and do it properly. NEC like to they like to shooting. Are they going to do that? And then they want to play. They're going to have talk to the people afterward. But before they go do it. And coming to this parliament thing, the Speaker of the House is out of place because if the Speaker of the House want to say he's doing it his way, that's wrong. How you do it your way? The Parliament have a constitution that he has to.
That he is guided by. He has to be guided, just like the rules of the House.
Yeah.
The members of the House have to be guided by it. The Speaker also has to be guided by it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Bloody House, isn't it? Yeah. And but Gradian have to understand. Every time Wall Boss in a position, the leaders having problem with him from since 84, when he had the two-seat and he was the he was the opposition leader at the time. Right? He happened in 2008 the same way.
Anyway.
Every time he in a position, but the man could chest Brad and you know what's going on, he's the grandfather of the house. So you have to understand that.
One love.
Yeah, you are blessed.
Okay, good. BJ, we couldn't go because our Texas friend is calling. We need to give her a couple of minutes and say, hold on, let me get it going here. And, right. Bella, good morning to you.
Good morning, good
How,
morning, good
how you
morning.
doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are y'all?
Okay. Tell me quickly.
Okay, really quick. I want to address this BJ cat. He says that minimum wage in the US is $15. So, now nationwide it's $7.25. It's been the same way since 2009. So, if you're in New York, for example, since everybody knows New York, if you're in New York and your minimum wage is $15, your rent for a one bedroom apartment, small studio, nothing fancy, you can live in a basement studio apartment, is going to be 2500 USD, probably more. So that's basically you're getting paid $7.25, which is why I always tell Grenadians when they come out here, like in the States, they go straight to New York or Miami, Florida. And I'm like, go around, like move to Texas, go elsewhere because it's so much cheaper. um $15 is basically minimum wage because everything goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's not his argument, I get his argument. What he's saying is like minimum, if y'all minimum wage, everything will go up. That's true. But to say that minimum wage is going up in the US, it's garbage. It's it's a dead statement because it's incorrect. The minimum wage nationwide is 7.25. All these states they do their own thing. Like California, their minimum wage might be 25, but their same one bedroom, one bath apartment is probably 3,000. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like, it's no different. And as far as the sea moss, I'm so sorry. I've been trying to get ready for work, but as far as the sea moss, the powder, I see nothing but white people doing that, and it, it don't it, it don't seem beneficial. And they're always trying to do like some type of like get rich, quick scheme type of thing. So the only people I see doing the powder stuff, including drugs, and putting stuff in pill form, is white people. So
Yeah.
you look. I tore my ACL on my right knee two times within a 4 month stretch. Tore, like my knee was swollen and everything. I prepared my own CMOS that I get from a good friend in St. Lucia, and when I tell you doing it the slow, long process way, like look, I can. They said I couldn't bend down on my knee. I couldn't do this. No, that's not true. I am. I do everything. Like there's nothing. Probably a cartwheel will mess me up, but other than that, like the regular slow process of doing it yourself. Yes, it's very time consuming, but other than that, it's very beneficial. And what the gentleman said about the knee and stuff, that is very accurate. Cause and just health wise, all the time. Never had COVID. I don't get sick. Me and my father used to get some what we call summer colds, but other than that, we don't get sick. I'm a very healthy person. Um, I may have some bad, habits, but other than that, I'm very healthy, health wise. I don't have anything, you know, nothing wrong with me that I won't be able to, that I do, that won't happen unless I let it, allow it to happen. But that's just my 2 cents. I listen every day, of course,
Well,
and
we
or
know
at
that,
least when I
and we're so very
and
we are so very
and
appreciative
I
of the
love
fact that you
Grenada.
listen. What's that?
I said, and I love Grenada.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
about the cows. So I was asking where these animals was coming from because if you're getting cows and just say, for example, they're coming, even if they're coming from Texas, they say everything is bigger in Texas, which is true, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
those things are because of the injections and the hormones and we live in a very very wicked planet. Everybody is trying to do everything quick, so a lot of these animals that we see are not even kind of like the weed, the marijuana. Everything is grown indoors. Everybody wants that particular smell that it's like it's not even nobody wants the original thing. So a lot of these animals are what we call warehouse. incubator, like we call them, like the way they do babies.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Incubator stuff, yeah.
Yes. So you can get one cell from one cow, and you put it in a lab, and you can make thousands of these cows from that one little cell from one cow. And that's not good. Um, health wise, they pocket wise, because it's helping the animals survive or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just too much at this point. And it's sad. I appreciate Anita. Stop touching it. Leaving it alone.
Leave Grenada alone. Anyway, we gotta run. We gotta run. We're out of time, Bella. So we'll catch up with you again, yeah?
Yes.
Okay then, bye-bye.
All right.
Take care. All right. It's fun. Our final caller, BJ. Bella, our friend out there in Texas.
That's nice.
Yeah, nice.
Following us.
So what are you doing today?
We harvested bananas today.
Bananas today.
Send down to St. George's to Cartwright.
Everything going to St. George's, that kind of thing.
That's where the resources is, Andre. By the time anything reach up in the country, they call it hawks. You don't have nothing in it again. It's squeezed dry already, So if you want something, you better go closer to the tongue,
Hello, brother. Take care.
Take care, brethren.
Right,
Blessed day.
Yeah.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update as produced by Triple N. The details when I return. Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk-behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and Booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard. Welcome back. Locally, Grenada's Minister of Foreign Affairs Joseph Andel on Wednesday met with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in Beijing. Grenada, Wang said, is an important country in the Caribbean and a friendly partner of China, and both sides have always respected each other and treated each other as equals. He says their bilateral relations have become more mature since the resumption of diplomatic ties. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, regional bodies boost response to arms trafficking.
Several regional agencies have signed a letter of intent which aims to enhance regional integration of the security and public health responses to firearms trafficking and violence. The CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, the University